All right, welcome back to the Fight Talk. Today I am joined by Foxer G, no stranger to the community of influencer boxing. How are you doing, brother?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right, cool, bro. All right, let's jump straight right into it. Speaking of Joe Fournier, in fact, he just went on his Instagram story and said he pretty much confirmed that he's going to be fighting KSI. What do you make of this?
Um, I don't know if he's the guy. I can't lie. I can't lie. See, like he wants one, maybe two before he fights Jake. If he has two fights, cool. Fight Joe. That's great. But Joe can't be the last guy before Jake if he really wants to beat Jake. Because
Yeah,
Joe, like on the Instagram story, he's drinking, he's partying, he's not taking it that seriously. So it, KSI is going to smoke Joe Fournier like 100%, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, you kind of want him to get pushed a little bit more, if that makes
yeah,
sense. And
yeah.
I think that like a guy like Mike Perry would be better than Joe Fournier for this fight. I can't lie.
I think even Mike Perry, I think they should go a bit more beyond that. I think they should go for Tommy, someone like Tommy, because Jake
Mm-hmm.
has been fighting Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley. If KSI can match those levels, he can actually prove that he can fight Jake. And we're gonna just come on to Aneson Gibb now because he is now fighting in Kingpin Boxing. The tournament has been announced. What do you make of his return to influencer boxing?
Dude, we were saying it. I think that Gibb is one of the most underrated people in this
Yeah,
scene. Like,
yeah,
really, like, I think that the Jake loss has changed people's minds about Gibb because leading up to the Jake fight, bro, everybody was hyping him up. Oh, he's gonna knock out Jake. Oh, he's gonna beat Jake. And then he took a bad loss to Jake,
yeah,
and he beats Taylor Holder. Okay, but he lost to Jake. And then he knocks out McBroom. Okay, but he lost to Jake. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
if Gibb can win this tournament and do it in a dominant fashion, he has to get his respect. I think that this is what it's going to take for Gibb to finally be put where he belongs in people's
Yeah.
pound for pound rankings, and because people don't even have him in the top five, which in my opinion that's crazy. He has to be at least in your top five.
Yeah, I think that's unbelievable because Mams Taylor put out a tweet and saying that KSI was at the top. I think Slim then Papi. I think
Mm-hmm.
Gib beat Slim, so I think Gib should be at least third place.
Dude,
Where do you rank him?
literally, um, where do I rank him?
Yeah,
Um, I definitely rank him a little bit above Slim as well.
yeah,
I'd say probably just below Salt Poppy. I got Jake, KSI, Salt Poppy, and then Gibb
yeah,
because like Gibb has so much of a better gas tank than Slim, and
yeah,
you saw Slim gassing out against Zanetti, and so Gibb would just outwork Slim.
yeah, yeah. Who do you think Gib should fight in this tournament? Obviously, like the draw's going to happen. He can't pick who he's going to fight. But if he could pick, who would you want him to pick to fight?
Um, well, we were just talking about how underrated Gibb is, and people are just blatantly taking away from his win because
Yeah,
Austin McBroom had COVID, which I get. It's a different fight. I've said it, on my channel. I've said it constantly. That would have been a very different fight if Austin
yeah,
hadn't gassed out. But Gibb won fair and square. It's not like, it's not a controversial win. Gibb knocked him out. Gibb stopped him, and he still doesn't get his props for that because of the COVID thing. So
yeah,
Austin's 100%. He's been working on his cardio. He's been in training camp, and if Austin is in the tournament like we think, like we think he is,
yeah.
I think that Gibb needs to earn his victory, or Austin can redeem himself. Um, or Zanetti, Tom Zanetti. If Gibb smokes Tom Zanetti, then I think that we can go ahead and say he's again levels above Slim. But if he has a close fight with Zanetti, that builds the Slim fight even more because Slim had a pretty
100%.
good fight with Zanetti. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And I think that people underestimate Slim because even though, yeah, he did beat Zanetti, but not in the way everyone expected it to happen. I think they're taking away the hard work, the dedication he's putting in, and how good he actually is. Because
Yeah,
don't forget, even though Zanetti, not a lot of people knew who he was, doesn't mean he was a bad fighter. That just means that Zanetti was at a level where Slim was at as well. So I think Slim is
yeah.
definitely still higher up in the rankings. But I think the only way you find out is Gibb versus Slim. Now, speaking of
Well, Slim
someone,
was sorry, real quick on that.
cool, cool,
Slim was
cool.
also fighting someone way heavier. That's another
Yes,
thing that people
100%.
forget.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, like he doesn't get enough credit for that because like, he even like Ryan Taylor, like he didn't knock him out, but he knocked him down and he
yeah,
didn't knock out Tom Zanetti, but I think it was the end of the second round. He rocked him, right? So
yes, yes,
it's like people have to give him credit for that because even with temper, he's knocking out people heavier than him, bigger than him,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, sorry, continue. I just had to throw that in there while
Nah,
we're
it's cool, it's cool.
on
It
the
was a good
Slim
point. It
subject.
was a good point, to be fair. Deji is also from the UK, so let's talk about him.
Yes, sir.
He should be fighting soon, but people are saying it's Bryce Hall. People are saying it's other fighters. Who do you think it actually is? Do you think Bryce Hall actually will fight Deji?
Okay, so I can't say who I think he's fighting because I know
Okay.
his opponent.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah,
All right,
I'll tell you after the interview. I'll tell you that
all
after
right,
the
all right.
interview.
Cool, cool, cool.
Um, but I can speak because it's not Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall has said he wants a warm up fight, but Bryce is definitely down for the fight in the future.
All right, all
And
right.
I
I'm
think,
getting interested, bro.
oh yeah, bro. Wait till you hear his opponent. His opponent's crazy, but it's one of the biggest fights in Misfits. Like I'm serious. It's gonna be,
No,
it's gonna be one of the biggest fights on Misfits. But
crazy.
with Bryce, he needs a warm up fight, and apparently that's gonna be he said he wants it to be Ryan Taylor. Ryan Taylor ain't no warm up fight, bro.
Ryan
That's
Taylor's gonna
crazy.
destroy him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ryan Taylor. What happens when Ryan Taylor absolutely annihilates Bryce?
Like,
You know what I'm
obviously, no
saying? Like,
disrespect to Bryce, but if you're gonna
mm,
call Bryce versus Ryan Taylor a warm up fight, oh god, I
yeah,
feel bad for you
yeah.
because
Like
Ryan
I'm
Taylor
rooting for
is
Bryce. I
brutal.
want
Yep,
the Bryce Deji fight. I
yep,
want that fight so
yep,
badly. But
exactly.
like Bryce, he can't come into the scene after a knockout loss like a year and a half ago
Yeah,
and fight Ryan Taylor. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly. Like,
Like it doesn't. It's not happening.
I think if he fights Ryan Taylor, unfortunately for Bryce, it's gonna be even worse than when he fought Austin, which is not what he wants. So,
Yeah,
so he might
yeah,
want to fight someone a bit lower than
yeah.
Ryan Taylor, maybe someone like a DK Money, even though the weight classes they don't really match up, but
Mm,
you know what I mean.
yeah,
Anyway, Ashley Raksu, and I said previously that Kenny is the first YouTuber I properly followed. And literally like Kenny, if he was gonna fight KSI, I'd have to root for Kenny. That's how much I love the guy. But
yeah,
he did unfortunately lose against Ashley Raksu, and people are gonna take away the credit of his performance. But what do you make of it?
yeah. No, I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'll get backlash for it, like I do. But King Kenny didn't look that bad.
Yeah,
Like his like his defensive understanding of boxing and his ring awareness, and the way that he manages to stay calm is why I think King Kenny deserves more credit. And
hundred
you
percent.
mentioned DK Money. Well, when King Kenny fought DK Money and he actually found a place for that right hand, he has knockout power. Like he does have knockout
Exactly.
power.
Yeah.
I mean, and look at the guy. He's in unbelievable shape. He's got good defense. He's got power in the right hand. If he can, get into some hard spars and, learn to use his hands in the way that we know we can use them, dude, he's gonna fuck up a lot of people. Like he's
Hundred
like
percent.
seriously, like I think that if King Kenny lets his hands go, who's he fought? He had a temper fight, a
Yeah.
sensei
Sensei.
fight,
Yep.
and then he had the
DK.
Ashley Raxy fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
DK. It's like if he lets his hands go against all of those people, he could beat every single person I just named.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he
He
has the
could.
potential. I'm not saying that he did, but he has the ability to.
Yeah, I mean there
You
was a
know,
clip, last round. Sorry to cut you off here. But in the last
no, you're
round
good.
of the Sensei fight, Kenny went at it in the last 10 seconds, and you saw Daly jumping into the ring because he went wild. We didn't see that for Temper or Sensei, and
Yeah,
arguably even the Raksu fight. But if we see that Kenny pushing forward aggressively, and even though his defense is very good, we need to see more aggressiveness from him. I think he, like you said, he has knockout power. He could knock them out. You never know what could happen because yeah,
exactly. Exactly. And it's not even just about like obviously, yeah, knockout power, 100%.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
deny that he does because he did that to DK Money, who was supposed to be the scrapper in that fight. But like if King Kenny lets his hands go, he can win rounds because I think that's the type of
100%,
fighter he is. He wants to
100%.
win rounds. And
Yeah,
it's like, he in the fight against Raksu, there was a clip. I literally screen recorded it to use because I loved that clip so much. He was walking forward at Raksu, and then Raksu was like jabbing at him, and King Kenny was just bobbing and weaving
dodging.
out the way.
Yeah,
It's like if you do that, and then you bob and weave out the way of a jab, and come over with that right hand, pop. It's that simple. Like that's
yeah,
how you win fights.
yeah.
Like
I
he has
mean,
90% of it done. Like the hard part is to dodge the punch. The easy part is the other 10% where he lands his own shot. I wish he could learn.
the thing is with Kenny is that obviously his brother Daily Prowler's one of the best boxing coaches in influence of boxing, and he is a professional boxing coach. He's been training Kenny to be a professional fighter, not like any of these other influences, apart from Papi, KSI. So that's the thing. I think people are taking the credit away from him because he's fighting in the more traditional route,
Mhm.
but they need to understand that Kenny is a beast inside. We just haven't seen it yet.
It's like look what he's done with another one of his fighters. He's got Deji in the same training camp.
Yeah, yeah,
Without Daily Perellis, Deji isn't Deji. Deji is still
exactly.
losing fights. Deji isn't beating Fuzi like the and knocking him down in the way that he did.
Yeah,
And that's the thing that people have to understand. That exactly what you just said with the like training him like a professional. That's the exact reason why, like at my boxing gym, like I'm a little bit unorthodox, and my coach understands that because
yeah,
he knows that my goal isn't with to win a Golden Gloves championship. It's to be an influencer. So
exactly.
Daly was raised around boxing. He had his own boxing fights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a great coach. King Kenny is that, believe it or not, it's gonna sound so dumb to say. King Kenny can be at that professional level. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%.
Um,
And I
yeah.
think Deji can too. I
Oh,
think 100%.
dude, absolutely. Absolutely. All Deji needs is a little bit more of a gas tank, and then boom.
Yeah, yeah,
If he can fight like he fought Fuzi, and we've seen his sparring footage, bro. Like the latest training clips we've seen of Deji, he looks like he's gone up 5 or 6 levels since the Fuzi fight.
yeah, yeah. We saw, I think he Daily released one yesterday, in fact. And Deji's looking good, hitting
Yeah.
the pads. And then there was that one moment where Deji ducked underneath and he got Daly with that shot over there. I don't know if you saw that one, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's looking good.
Yeah.
He's looking good, man. And let's just touch up on
Yeah.
KSI. Even though we talked about him earlier about the Joe Fournier fight, let's say he fights Jake
Hmm.
and he beats Jake. What is next for influencer boxing? Like, does
Hmm.
it just completely end it, or does it require people like you,
Um,
stars, and just keep on going? Like, what happens?
I love this question a lot because I get asked that same similar question a lot. After KSI Jake Paul, is it over? It's not at all. It's really not. You have the mega fights. People forget like when Jake was fighting, maybe like the Ben Askrens
Yeah,
and the the Tyron Woodleys. Those were still, pretty big fights, but
yeah, yeah,
they weren't exploding. But the scene was still alive and well.
yeah,
Um and KSI, what we thought, we didn't think he was going to come back. We thought he had no plans of stepping in the ring. And we were still tuning into Deji versus Wasabi. We were
yeah,
tuning into Social Gloves, like, with Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall. And, oh, Deji, wait, Deji's still fighting? Whoa. And then, oh, Gib. Oh, I forgot about Gib. You know what I mean? There's
crazy.
so many
Yeah,
people
the hype
that when you
around
think
it.
about KSI and Jake Paul, yeah, you think about KSI and Jake Paul, and you're like, well, these are the two biggest names. But it's like, we're talking about Salt Poppy. You asked me questions about Salt Poppy in this interview. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
we didn't even know who Salt Poppy was like a year ago in this scene,
exactly. You
right?
know,
So it's like that's going to continue to happen over and
yeah,
over and over.
exactly, exactly. Like I remember, yeah, I was ringside for the Deji versus Wasabi fight, and behind me
Mm,
was actually sort of Pappy, like just taking pictures with fans. And I'll be completely honest, like I didn't know exactly who he was. Like I'd heard of him, I seen a few of his
mm-hmm.
TikToks, but it's not like I knew exactly who he was. And the fact that he's gone from that kid who's not like well known around the world, And
Mhm.
he's had those performances with those knockouts to be known as one of the greatest influencer boxers of all time. It's crazy what can happen in the space of 1 year, man.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. And you know, after KSI and Jake Paul, that's gonna bring so many more eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like there's probably someone out there that hasn't even picked up a camera yet, and they're gonna be one of the future guys. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, what if, he's not gonna be super good like Saul Poppy, but what if Aiden Ross or I Show Speed picks up the boxing gloves? Everyone's gonna tune
crazy.
in. And it's like there's money in this scene. Misfits just signed a 5-year deal with the Zone. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
and
I
that's
think we're
the
all forgetting
Zone.
about it, yeah. The
Yeah, and
zone.
it's not like your thing now. It's gonna times up. No,
Yeah.
because bringing they're bringing in numbers. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of something that isn't very publicly known. Oh, hang on, I'm lagging. One sec, one sec.
No, no problem. I got you, I got you.
I just want to make sure that. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little exclusive. Okay.
Did I keep this in the interview or
Yeah, definitely,
all
definitely,
right, all
definitely.
right, all right. Let's
Because
let's see.
it might have been said publicly. I don't know if it's come out publicly, but it's nothing crazy. It's just the simple fact that the Zone is very, very, very happy with Misfits. Like the Zone is they
I'm
love
not
having
surprised.
Misfits a part of the brand.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the associates behind the scenes and like the people like the head in charge.
yeah,
Um, they love it because it's bringing in more names, and it's like the Canelo and the Canelo fights, and even like the fights that casual fans won't watch, like
yeah.
the smaller fights, they're getting more traction as well because more people are interested in the scene.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to touch on your point. You said there could be one guy who's never picked up a camera before and could fight and could be the next big thing. I'll be honest, bro. That's where I want to be in like in a few years. Like my goal,
Oh
I've always wanted to fight with Misfits. Like I'm not at the age where I can yet, but one day I'm gonna keep pushing, man. And I want to fight. It doesn't even have to be on Misfits.
yeah,
I wanna do something big, Like you see
dude,
these
you've got
people.
it.
I hope so. Like
You have it.
I'll be honest, yeah, I'm having a bit of a fanboy moment. I'm not ashamed to say it, but like with you, like I followed you for a long time, and it
Yeah,
was crazy. Like that video you dropped when you met KSI and he was asking you about Fox, that's your real name and all of that. That
yeah,
from there on, it's like your channel was amazing. Similarly with Christian HD and Fred Talks Fighting, and especially Wade as well. Um,
yeah.
so the fact that I've seen what you guys are doing. It just influenced me to do it. It's in the name, influencer boxing, man. It's in the
Yeah,
name.
but that's the thing. First of all, that's amazing. That's so dope. That's the whole point of this is
Yeah,
like influencer are supposed to influence people to do good things, and that's how I see it. It's like influencer
exactly. Yeah,
boxing and getting into the boxing scene is such a positive thing. But like, bro, when it comes to you and fighting and interviewing, like there's a chemistry that you have with the people that you interview, and there's a way that like I don't think you know it like because like I know what it's like with me, like I just make a video and I kind of just do it, and then people are like, oh dude, that was so funny when you did that. I'm like, I didn't even think of that,
yeah,
like I didn't
yeah,
even know
yeah.
that was going to be funny. So like with you with your interviews, it's a very similar thing. I don't think you realize like how you can transition and like how well you do it.
I
I
appreciate that a
think
lot, man.
nah, bro, you've got to. I can't. You have a passion for it.
Yeah,
Like. I see a lot of like me in you, and I think that you're gonna do it. Like I really do,
I
because
appreciate
like
that,
you're
man.
building the connections, bro. Like you're gonna just wait, bro. Just trust me. Just trust me. Keep doing what you're doing.
Bro, that
Like,
means a lot coming
yeah.
from you, man. I'll be so real like that. I really appreciate that. We've gone off the
No,
interview
of
tracks.
course, bro.
But
Yeah.
it's all
No,
good.
no.
And my interviews, what I do, it's just a conversation. Like it's not even like an interview. It's something different, which no one really sees. Like one of those, let's say you're with your friends in a room and you have a camera on. That's literally what I'm trying to do right now. Know what I mean? Like don't want to make it too
Dude,
serious,
that's exactly what
but
you're
then make
doing.
it funny and all of that. Yeah, so I'm doing.
You know what 99% of interviews are is like what do you think about KSI?
Yeah.
Okay. So KSI would knock out Jake. Okay. That's a clip. Upload that with a clickbait title. Okay. Okay. So what else do you
Yeah.
think? It's like that. With you, it's like, oh, so earlier you said that. Emphasize. Like, why did you what do you mean by that? Or like, oh, like, so you think that, I think this. Like you give your own takes and everything.
Yeah.
It's just like a different approach to it that's just like makes you want to like I want to be here if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy being interviewed by you.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
brother. Like I remember
No, of
the first
course,
one
man.
that we did. I know we're getting completely off track, but you know what? Screw it. The first time I interviewed you at Hilton Hotel, like I interviewed my boy Hoss previously on online. And then I came out, I was like, oh shit, that's Fox and that's Hoss in person. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, you were the first ever interview, like proper interview that I did in person. Because I did one with Jack and Anthony Taylor in person, like for the Global Titans event, but it was like a minute long. I knew, and like I had no idea what I was doing really. But this one was
Yeah.
like crazy, crazy. So
I got you.
I'm
Yeah,
glad that we're
that's
doing it
fucking dope,
again.
man. Yeah, that's sick, man. That's sick.
Yeah, but all
Yeah.
right, let's get back to the topic.
I got
I
you.
don't want to take too much of your time today, but
It's all good.
let where should we go to, bro? This probably is one of the weirdest, funniest, and best interviews I'm doing right now. But what do you want to talk about? Like, what fighters are you most excited for? Which one has a great future, do you think?
um, there's so many, bro. I want to go
Yeah.
with somebody underrated. I'm gonna try and think of somebody that I think could be the future. I think Nick Lamau. I think that
Yes.
Nick showed so
He
much.
was amazing. How have you not talk about that yet?
Yeah, bro. Nick is, bro. Whether or not he got the win or the loss on his record, he literally shocked the world.
100%, 100%. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like Jay Swingler, I think people are taking away from his performance as well, to be honest. But
Mm.
Jay and Nick, like, imagine them two as a tag team.
Bro,
Bro.
honestly, they both have. Nick's got the defense and he
Yeah.
can outbox somebody, which, by the way, after 6 months of training, to be able to do the Philly show like that after
Unbelievable.
6 months,
Yeah.
bro, I can't do that. What? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I've been
yeah.
training for like 3 years and I can't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pissed me off. But then Jay's got the power. You know,
100%. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
insane. Yeah, I love that idea. Tag team, Nick and Jay. I like that. I think that they should do exactly that. Like when someone fights and they have a good fight, they should then be a tag team. Like KSI versus
100%.
Jake Paul is a tag team, bro. Oh, it's
Oh,
over.
KSI and Jake, KSI and Jake versus Deji and Logan.
Bro, do you know how many that would if that was just like the main event, a tag team with that, you know,
Bro,
hell, bro,
crazy.
go mental.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's touch on the last
Ridiculous.
topic, probably the most important topic throughout this whole interview. When are you fighting on Misfits, bro? When are you fighting? We have to see it.
um, I think I'm going for as soon as I possibly can.
All
You
right,
know,
all right, yeah, yeah.
hopefully Misfits in September because
My
I
birthday
turn
time.
18
All right.
September 21st. Yeah,
Oh
I
shit.
turn
Okay. I turned
September 21st.
16 September 8th.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild, bro.
Yeah, bro.
There's an event on September 30th. So 9 days after I turn 18. I want to be on that because that would set a record. I'd be the youngest Misfits fighter ever. And
I'm
that would be a
probably
really
yeah.
tough one
All
to
right.
beat.
We have to set it up then. Mams Taylor.
Exactly. Yeah, ma'ams, make it happen. Of
Calais, all of them, please make it happen. Fox, thank you, man. I really appreciate you coming on
course.
today. It's been an amazing time I've had. And good luck with everything you're doing in the future. And I know your next fight, when you have one, you will knock out the guy. So
Yeah, bro.
thanks for
Yeah.
coming on, bro.
Of course, man. Thank you. Thank you.